Warning! This video contains rumors, speculation, strong opinions, and a Mad Max. And I'm talking about Kathleen Kennedy. Solo bombs! And Kathleen Kennedy speaks to no one. Or does she? Does she speak through articles, her employees? Or is it a strong message going out from her camp by not wrangling in constant attacking fans by Lucasfilm Twitter accounts? Because to me, she is speaking in a passive-aggressive way. She is shackled, so she lets shill entertainment, articles, and news, and pan-tweeters from Lucasfilm go pan-tweeting crazy. I think if you let employees comment on paying customers without correcting them, that's basically you speaking yourself. Saying it's okay, and that's her MO, and that's how Lucasfilm is being run right now. She still hasn't broken her silence officially. You are more likely to hear her break wind than silence. Oh, that's what the Solo box office was. Star Wars breaking wind. But this hot topic is going to examine is Kathy really silent? Because, in my opinion, she has to be from opening her mouth, but her employees and media speak volumes about how she feels and the culture there at Lucasfilm. And these articles don't come out of nowhere. Believe it. She may not be making the official word, speaking officially, but this is basically coming from her group, her story group, her marketing, her Disney marketing magic. That's where it's coming from. Is it a coincidence that CNN put out an article trying to defend her and trying to double down? So talk about politics. CNN now is going to have an article about it. Oh boy. So all the scholastic articles that came out after the wake of the Solo bomb, the CNN one is the most revealing to me about how Kathy and her crew perceives this backlash and what they're going to do about it. And before this article, I felt that maybe she was fired behind the scenes and that we could get some kind of announcement at Celebration 2019. I still am hoping for it, but this article is revealing to me, and it feels like we have to buckle up for a bumpy ride, and it's not over yet. And I'm one of the ones that was calling for it. I was thinking this is it. This is going to do her in. It seems like they're tripling. Double down, triple down. Buckle your seatbelts. The boycott needs to get harsher. And me personally, I have to do something more. I'm going to maybe make another video on it. But definitely for episode 9, I'm not supporting this junk. And it seems like if this CNN article is anything to go by, we're in for a more of a bumpy ride. And it's the articles are still flowing out. And we're still not getting an official word, but she's speaking through the media. That's what this is about. Okay, and by the way, if there's any doubt about how much politics are included in Kathy's Lucasfilm, let CNN weigh in on the issues and urge them to double down and continue on their path. And we are going to examine some highlights of this article because I am furiously mad. I love fans and fandom, and beyond Star Wars, this is a battle of what is right for any property that has been supported by hardworking and loyal fans that pay for their tickets and buy the toys and merchandise. When they are acknowledged, listened to, and given fan service, collaboration, customer service, the customer is always right. This is everything that's being forgotten, and this is why everything is failing. Beyond just Star Wars. No one's remembering the customer or the fans. And it's such a lie that you can't get away, that you cannot listen to fans and just do your own thing. This is why we're in this situation. It's across the board. Corporate culture is known for this, not listening to the customer. What is going on? It's like the number one rule no one goes by anymore. These are the things that have gone by the wayside with big factory corporate culture that has hijacked our fandoms. And they have ruined our childhood because they saw the money, they scooped up the property, and now they make factory-produced junk without a soul. Star Wars no longer has a soul. It's just a factory-produced junk. Frankenstein stitched together to focus on agendas, merchandise agenda, and everything agenda except an agenda for story or an agenda for the fans or an agenda for Star Wars. There's no agenda for that. You can have all this other crap, but you got to have the focus on Star Wars and the fans. Or in Kathy's case, panned up our childhoods. Because now I can't stop seeing Pan in all the Disney classics. They brought it up. They brought it up on those tweeters. Those Lucasfilm tweeters brought it up. Star Wars is my favorite property of all time. And that is why I'm so passionate. But I have had enough of this. The Reporter is so full of it. Not listening to fans is why DC movies are failing. Why people stop buying toys, dolls, collectibles. Why Toys R Us is going out of business. Or is now they're out of business. Because the quality sucks. And it's not made for the fans. It's made for profit across the board. Or made for agenda. Disney Star Wars isn't made for the fans. It is marketing to find new ones at the expense of the originals. And no one likes it. Now getting back to the CNN article that really feels like Kathy and Lucasfilm. It feels like what's going on behind the doors at Lucasfilm right now. And I will just go over the most obnoxious highlights. And here's part of the article. While the studio ponders whether that requires adjusting course, a small, here they go, they're calling us small again, small, rebellious, and inordinately vocal quadrant of the fan community is delighting in and deriving an unfortunate message from those woes. There's a slightly delusional quality to the victory lap being taken in comment section and online forums. An assumption that these fans have made a statement that will only further embolden such demands. It's certainly possible that disappointment surrounding The Last Jedi, a sentiment incidentally largely shared by this reviewer, triggered a backlash that played a major role in Solo's week opening. But it's beyond naive to think a subsection of fans can dictate Disney's broader strategy. Why aren't we included in the strategy? Since the studio didn't plunk down $4 billion for Lucasfilm to let it sit idle, or allow a small mob with internet pitchforks to call the shots. Why aren't fans included in calling the shots? Why isn't this a collaboration with fans and fandom? That's how you really succeed. It's not unheard of. Marvel is the only one doing it right now. Marvel Studios. As politicians have discovered, there are trade-offs involved in allowing the loudest and most belligerent voices, those prone to speaking in Sith-like absolutes, to define the terms of the debate. No one, I genuinely believe, now there's people on the backlash, there's fans that are just against everything. But that's, there's in any group, there's people that go overboard. But in general, I believe that people are not against diversity. They're just against forced diversity and lame representation when it's at expense of the characters. And there's never been a more blatant attempt at pushing new characters at the expense of the old than The Last Jedi. It totally there's no thought put into maintaining the characters that we know and love, but the screen time is all given to the new characters that no one cares about. And even in the deleted scene on the Blu-ray with Rian Johnson, not including a 10-second scene of Mark Hamill where he gives his best performance in the movie and the most heartfelt, is left on the cutting room floor. That just proves that there's no thought to these put into the original characters and maintaining what we know and love. But the over-bloated Canto Bight sequence, it's undisputable to me. I don't see how you can argue that they're, if you like The Last Jedi, that they're really staying true and faithful to Leia and Luke. I don't see it. I don't see how you can even raise that argument. It's ridiculous. Okay. But prone speaking in Sith-like absolutes, they are speaking in absolutes. They are saying the backlash is completely this way, and that's it. But there's a lot of variety of people, fans out there that are upset with this. And they're making blanket statements about us. And now, this is the most ludicrous thing ever because it's proven that people are just upset with the direction, if you're with the boycott or not, and they're still not addressing the concerns. And we're still in the situation. The writer of this article and Lucasfilm are treating fans like they're negotiating with terrorists. Don't give in to demands. We're not holding anyone hostage except our dollars staying firmly in our wallets, and mine is staying there. Enough of this crap. Treat fans with respect, have a collaboration, and how about a president of Lucasfilm that makes a public statement instead of doubling down on stupidity and breaking wind at the box office? Because as long as Kathy is there, that's what's going to happen time after time. Breaking wind. And that's what we'll look forward to for episode 9. And you know what else? Kathy hasn't released a comment publicly since the backlash began, but after the first Lucasfilm employee stuck their foot in their mouth and she didn't say anything or stop the bleeding that was happening, that's on her. Enough, though, that they are commenting on their personal, and even though they are commenting on their personal Twitter, what kind of idiot doesn't wrangle that in and stop her employees from bashing the paying customers? That does speak volumes about the culture she lets happen. She is letting it happen by not doing anything. She is epically failing. Will Kathy actually make an official statement before her end, or is this just going to be, or is she just going to be speaking from her end? In episode 9, the biggest breaking wind of a franchise yet, if there isn't a change soon. So those are my thoughts on Kathy speaking, and that she hasn't said anything officially, but what she's letting happen speaks volumes. And it's a disgrace to treat paying customers, paying fans, and the fandom like this. What kind of president doesn't address the problems? Even if she's going to continue on her way, no comment at all? Wow. Okay, that's my thoughts. You don't have to follow me anywhere. Just join in the conversation. Comment below. I'll see you in the next hot topic.